No heavy coats needed this morning. Our high temperatures will climb into the 80s. I'll let you know if it will last into the weekend.
Money for Medicaid. State lawmakers will tackle funding for the program that provides health care for millions of North Carolinians. The plan they could vote on as soon as today.
Feeling the pressure, the high price of diesel fuel due to the war on Iran is putting a squeeze on local businesses. How the costs could be passed down to you.
WRAL News at 8 starts in 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
Good morning. The time is 8 a.m. here on your Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. It feels comfortable now,
yes,
but it's going to warm up. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
It's a pretty start as we take a live look in Apex down Salem Street. Lots and lots of sunshine. Our wind has shifted to southwesterly, so we have southwest wind at 15 right now. It's going to be a little breezy this afternoon, gusting 20 to 25. That's just going to help to keep pushing the warmth in. It's 57 right now in the Triangle, so we're starting to see the temperatures warm up as we're getting into the 8 o'clock hour. 54 in Fayetteville and Rocky Mount, and 52 in South Hill. It's fast warm up for us. Our temperatures right now in some places are 10 to 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday, and we're looking at temperatures climbing to 78 at lunchtime. Going to be a nice one to spend some time outside. We'll be in the mid 80s for this afternoon, and temperatures keep warming up. We still have a chance of some rain over the weekend. We'll look at that in just a few minutes, Ken.
Elizabeth, we're picking up some heavy congestion on I-87 there in Nightdale as we take a live look at I-87 near the Smithfield Road entrance ramp. You can see what I'm talking about, the bumper-to-bumper traffic. So let's widen out the loop of I-87, stretching all the way back to Wendell Falls Parkway. That's where we're seeing the bulk of the congestion around Wendell Falls Parkway. You're looking at a 9-minute delay. So if you're in a rush this morning, you might want to take Business 64 or Nightdale Boulevard as an alternate route. Here to the southern loop of the Beltline, some heavy congestion as well. I-40 Lake Wheeler Road, you can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic in those westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. So you're looking at a 7-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. All other parts of I-40 westbound, you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County, delay-free. Of course, if you're navigating it through Wade Avenue, nothing to worry about this morning. Now, that northern loop of the Beltline, we have some heavy congestion, particularly between the I-87, 440 interchange to Capitol Boulevard. Then it's clear sailing all the way to Wade Avenue. But right now, you're looking at a 16-minute delay. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out and plan accordingly. As we widen out the view, our friends in Apex, you're looking at a 9-minute delay coming in on US 1 and 13 minutes if you're coming in from Wake Forest and US 1 South. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
A busy morning commute. Ken, thank you. Fire crews in Durham responded to a brush fire this morning. It happened near North Alston Avenue. The WRAL breaking news tracker was there at about 3:30 as firefighters were getting it under control. Meanwhile, firefighters in Harnett County worked to put out a brush fire as well. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker on Oak Ridge River. That's near Fuquay Arena. Authorities in Harnett County say the fire started just before 1 a.m. There is a statewide burn ban until further notice. But today's weather is even more conducive for brush fires. That's because of dropping humidity and increasing wind gusts. Happening today, state lawmakers plan to tackle funding Medicaid, which millions of North Carolinians rely on for health care. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar has been following this story here this morning from the legislative building. Ali, Medicaid could run out of money soon if a deal isn't passed.
Laura, we're talking about weeks that it could run out, and there's a lot of pressure on lawmakers right now to pass this deal, and that's why they're planning to vote on Medicaid funding just the second day of this short legislative session. Now, lawmakers are expected to approve a $300 million plan to fund Medicaid today. They've also added rules to cut down on waste and then prevent fraud. This comes as the program is on the verge of running out of money in a few weeks. This would endanger health care for 3 million North Carolinians. The push to approve Medicaid funding is related to the state not having a budget. WRAL spoke with lawmakers about the progress to approve a budget this session.
We'll see. We're not there yet. We're having conversations. They are substantive.
We've been talking to folks in the Senate during that time, and certainly as we approached getting back in the short session, as we started today, those talks progressed.
And so the Medicaid funding deal, that vote is on the calendar today. WRAL will be following this. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Give you a live look at Durham this morning, where Mayor Leo Williams gave his State of the City address last night. Now, in that speech, Williams promised not to give up when it comes to efforts to curb gun violence. That was one of many topics the mayor talked about in his address. Williams highlighted progress across Durham, but also discussed the challenges still facing the Bull City. He pointed to Durham's economic and social gains, but did not shy away from the city's ongoing struggle with violence and how leaders plan to address it.
We have real issues, but we have a real momentum. We have a real possibility to make this community safer. No one in the city deserves to live in the fear and harm and in the disruption that they're living in.
The most recent data from Durham police shows shootings are down from this time last year, but the overall number of people shot up. You can find more about what was discussed in Mayor Williams' full speech on WRAL.com. The Board of Commissioners in Creedmoor stripping the mayor of his authority after his 5th DWI arrest in 7 years. The board unanimously voted to revoke all of Antoine Downey's privileges outside of those prescribed by state law. This means he is no longer allowed to speak on behalf of the city. He no longer has access to his city email, business cards, and access to City Hall outside of meetings and appointments. His 5th and most recent arrest came in February after he crashed his car into a tree on US 15. That case has not yet gone to court.
New this morning now, Iran's foreign minister has acknowledged the ceasefire extension made by the U.S. and that spokesperson today. It was announced by President Trump on social media yesterday. This comes after Iran attacked multiple ships in the Strait of Hormuz this morning. The ceasefire was set to expire tonight. President Trump said on Truth Social that the ceasefire will remain in effect until Iranian leaders can come up with a unified proposal. He went on to say the U.S. will maintain its naval blockade of Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has not yet said if Tehran is ready to attend a new round of talks to end the war.
Well, Laura, the cost of that war showing up at the pump. According to AAA, the national average of gas still slightly above $4 a gallon. Looking at prices locally, though, Raleigh paying $3.77. In Durham and the Chapel Hill area, the cost of $3.89. In Rocky Mount, you'll pay $3.61. Let's talk about diesel prices now, surging since the start of that war. The increased fuel costs disrupting businesses, including one that's usually busy this time of year. Let's get to WRAL's Kirsten Clark live in Raleigh this morning. Kirsten, HVAC companies are feeling the pressure.
Yes, Ken. We've been here at the intersection of Gorman and Hillsborough Streets throughout this morning to give you a closer look at diesel prices. Take a look at the BP here. It's going for $5.79 a gallon. And speaking of HVAC, many of us have already cranked up those air conditioners to deal with just how hot it's been. And HVAC service companies depend on diesel for their trucks. So let's take a wider look at the price of diesel. According to AAA, the current state average is $5.59 a gallon. That's compared to $3.45 a year ago this time. Here in Raleigh, that average is $5.66. The cost is down 2 cents from yesterday, but still more than $2 higher than the average this time last year. The director of HVAC operations at Swift Brothers tells us hundreds of trucks have to be filled up daily, costing more than $150 each. We asked him if that cost will be passed on to customers.
We'll try to absorb it as long as we can, because we do understand it's not the customer's fault. But at some point in time, we probably will, depending on how long this gas increase happens.
Yeah, so Stanley says they've already seen a high volume of calls, and they're only expecting that to increase as we head into the summer. Throughout all of this, the company is just asking its customers to be patient. Live in Raleigh, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
So keep in mind, to find the best gas prices near you, check out the WRAL Fuel Tracker. Just go to WRAL.com, search fuel.
I want to bring you out here to the WRAL Live Center to get you a heads up here. And this is coming from Homeland Security Secretary Markway Mullen. He told Fox and Friends yesterday that the money for DHS is going to run out in early May. So let me kind of walk you through this. He said that after the next paycheck, quote, there is no more emergency funds, so the president can't do another executive order for us to use money because there's no more money there. He also says the department pays out more than $1.6 billion in wages every 2 weeks. Now, remember what we saw after the money first ran out, right? There were some TSA workers that quit because of that, and we're talking about more than 838 TSA officers who've quit since mid-February. Should the money run out again, we're going to be watching very closely to see how many additional TSA workers could quit and what this means for the busy summer travel season.
Okay, thank you, Chris, for that update. Wake County school leaders are now facing some difficult choices. The district superintendent now proposing another $10.5 million in cuts for the next school year. That's on top of the more than $5 million in cuts he proposed just last month. The proposed cuts drew protests from dozens of teachers yesterday. The cutbacks would come from a number of places, including some funding for assistant principal positions. District leaders say they're facing a budget squeeze driven in part by rising costs.
I also want to be clear that Wake County is not the only county facing this issue. It's other local education agencies across the state that are in this very exact situation. We're fortunate that we are not in a situation where we're closing schools and doing massive layoffs.
So here's what's next. The school board has until May 15th to pass a budget. District leaders say they want to see the state do more to help step up and fill the funding gap.
Well, moving forward, State Senate Leader Phil Berger is speaking out about what's next after he lost his Republican primary, his promise to North Carolinians as he prepares to leave office.
And it's nice and cool out here on the patio this morning. You can take a look at the tower behind us, looking at blue skies. We're going to talk more about why our temperatures are starting to warm up and when we can shed these jackets. Coming up. 8:14. We've had some chilly mornings so far this week, and we're now in the transition zone. We take a live look at downtown Durham right now, and we're looking at nice clear skies. Temperatures are climbing on up into the low to mid 50s in most places. 57 in Southern Pines, 50 in Roanoke Rapids, 57 Durham, 53 in Goldsboro right now. Out walking the dog right now, of course, temperatures are cool. I'm happy to have my jacket on, but I'm also in the shade. Probably feels a little bit warmer in the sun. By lunchtime, it's 78 degrees, and we'll climb into the mid 80s for this afternoon. So we have a pretty day in our forecast. More of this into the weekend, but I'm tracking a system that could bring us some rain mainly Saturday night and into Sunday. It's slowed down a little bit and looks like it may bring us even a little bit more rain than it looked like yesterday. I'll show it to you coming up. Ken?
Well, as we're staying on top of that southern loop of the Beltline, that heavy congestion that we see this time of the morning at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us as the bumper-to-bumper traffic. And right now, you're looking at a 9-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. Other parts of I-40 westbound, you're coming in from the Garner-Johnson County area. No delays. Wade Avenue, no delays whatsoever. Coming up, we'll look at some other delays we're picking up on some other major routes coming into the capital city.
Ken, thank you. North Carolina Senate Leader Phil Berger says he plans to serve out the remainder of his term after losing his Republican primary. He spoke with reporters in the state capitol yesterday. Berger has represented his district for more than 20 years and has led the Senate since 2011. He said he will continue to focus on policies that make North Carolina a top state for business.
Making North Carolina a competitive state in terms of our tax climate and our regulatory climate, and that continue to make progress in our funding of education and the options that parents have as far as educating their kids.
Had to say regarding issues like the state budget and Medicaid. Just head to the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com.
Orange County joining the list of communities putting a pause on data centers. The Orange County Board of Commissioners unanimously voting last night to approve a one-year moratorium. It applies to AI data centers, cryptocurrency mining facilities, data processing facilities, and similar large-scale operations. This will give the county more time to develop regulations as well as evaluate land use and environmental impacts. The town of Holly Springs passing new rules for e-bikes and e-scooters. It comes after calls reporting e-bike riders were performing stunts and impeding traffic. Starting June 1st, e-bikes and e-scooters won't be allowed on town property, including public park areas, common spaces, and play areas. The first offense will be a warning. After that, fines will kick in.
People who live in a Cary mobile home park are looking for help after they were forced to leave their homes. Many of them gathered in downtown Raleigh yesterday to demand support. About 140 families who live at Chatham Estates have less than 3 months to find a new place to live. The owner is selling the land, citing his age and health. The potential new owner plans to develop the area with more than 300 multi-family units and nearly 100 townhomes. People say they can't afford to move anywhere else.
Where we live now, it doesn't look like much to many people, but for us, it's home. My children can play outside with other children. They're always out. And that's something that, one of the many things that we're going to lose now.
Current residents are asking the new owner to cover their moving costs. They tried to deliver a letter to them yesterday, but couldn't. For the time being, a nonprofit is now stepping up, helping them with their housing options.
State DOT getting behind the Carolina Hurricanes playoff run. You may notice some familiar colors while driving on the highways in Raleigh. The DOT's wildflower team timed things out perfectly with red and white flowers blooming for the playoffs. The Canes lead the Ottawa Senators 2-0 in their series. Game 3 is tomorrow night in Ottawa.
Oh, I love it, and so pretty. Well, the ongoing drought has been months in the making now, which means it might take that long to get rid of it. Let's bring in meteorologist Chris Michaels to show us the one unique weather feature that could bring relief before summertime. And today's Ask the Meteorologist, Chris.
Laura, you hope that it's not a tropical system, right? But in the months of May and June, you can sometimes get this feature that's called an upper level low. So you get the jet stream, the guiding winds that retreat to the north, and storm systems that develop and stay cut off from the rest of the weather pattern. So they move slowly and they can kind of stall for days at a time. So I've covered these in the months of May and June before, and they can at times dump several inches of rain within a few days. So you keep your fingers crossed for that. Looking ahead to May, June, and July, this is from NOAA's Climate Prediction Center, at least showing the potential is there for some above average precipitation, which would definitely be some welcome news because we've been under the quiet influence of high pressure pretty much all April. And so far, we've gone 17 straight days without rain in Raleigh or at RDU. The last time we had a stretch like that was in the fall of 2023. And we do have some rain chances moving forward. Nothing crazy, but at least hoping to chip away at the deficit we've had over the past few months. Elizabeth, though, nice and sunny out there on the WRAL weather patio so far this morning.
It is. It feels nice out here. It is a little bit on the cool side. Nice to have, the dry conditions for spending time outside, but boy, we need that rain so badly. And it does look like our potential for rain is going up a little bit over the weekend. We're going to talk about that coming up over the next couple of minutes. In the gardens, everything is looking good. I will say that I think we have 4 different wells on the property. So I know there are a lot of water restrictions going in place starting this week in Raleigh, for one. But if you see the water running here, the sprinklers going here at WRAL, it's because we have our own wells. We do have a southwest wind at 15 right now, bringing some breezy conditions in, and 57 is our current temperature. Our next weather maker is going to be a front that's in the west right now. That's likely to roll through this weekend, mostly Saturday night into Sunday. We'll have a few scattered showers, maybe even a small rumble of thunder. There is one front that will arrive first. You can see that one dipping down tonight. Mostly we'll see a chance of some showers along the Virginia line, but what we see for tonight is going to be really minimal. Then we watch front number 2. This one is the one that has the potential to bring us some better chances for rain. This is going to be Saturday at 4 p.m. and the rain is in the mountains. And then by the time we get to Saturday night into Sunday, you can see the rain moving into the middle of the state. Let's zoom in a little bit closer to our viewing area. Again, this is 4 o'clock and the rain is well to the west. By the time we get to 10 or 11, we start to see that rain rolling in. So if you have plans in the evening outside on Saturday, those are looking better. The system is starting to slow down a little bit. But it does now look like we could see some rain for at least the first half of the day on Sunday. We may still see some lingering showers in our eastern counties during the afternoon Sunday. So I'm expecting to see a chance of rain 50% overnight, 30% during the day. And here's what's encouraging. Our chance for measurable rain has gone up a little bit from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. At least it's something. It does look like we'll stay dry on Saturday for Komen Race for the Cure. We're proud sponsors. Race time temperature at 65, so it should feel nice. Once the front comes through, we are looking at the potential for some cooler temperatures on Sunday. We'll see those Sunday temperatures most likely in the 70s. So it'll be nice to have, again, just a little bit of a cool down behind that front.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're going to see to that southern loop of the belt and give you a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic, those westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. So right now you're looking at an 8-minute delay, jumped up to 11 minutes delay. So you're getting ready to head out the door. This is part of your morning commute. Just know that's what you'll be facing. No delays whatsoever between Highway 36 and the Beltline if you're navigating I-40 westbound coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area. So now that northern loop of the Beltline, we do have some heavy congestion building as well. As we look at a live look at I-440 near the New Bern Avenue interchange, you can see what we're talking about here. So as we widen out the view, here's what you're looking at. The bulk of the congestion is between 87 440 interchange to Capitol Boulevard. Then it's relatively clear sailing all the way over to Wade Avenue. Right now, you're looking at a 9-minute delay at this hour.
More news just ahead now. Lockup scams, calls claiming your loved one is behind bars and that they can help. The new warning from 5 on your side and how to keep from falling victim.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gartner, who's out on the WRAL weather patio. Elizabeth, sunny skies today.
It is so pretty out here right now. We'll take a live look at the gardens and you can see just how pretty it is right now. Still some azaleas blooming. There's really always something blooming in the gardens. It's really pretty. I'm comfortable in a jacket right now because it's a little bit breezy, but our wind's coming out of the southwest. That's going to continue to warm things up nicely for us today. It's 52 in Roanoke Rapids, 57 in Durham, and 54 in Wilson. So comfortable for running this morning. Temperature feels perfect for that. It'll be 72 at 11 o'clock and 80 degrees by 1 o'clock. If you're headed to after school practices with your kids, expect temperatures to be in the low to mid 80s.
But we got some heavy congestion on that southern loop of the Beltline. That's what we see this time of the morning as we look live at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. You can see the westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. Right now, you're looking at an 11-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. Keep in mind that southern loop of the Beltline covers the I-40, I-440 interchange in Southeast Raleigh over to US 1. So 11 minutes, that's something that might be taking you, making it a little bit late. So just give yourself some extra time this morning. Another update at the bottom of the hour.
Fire crews responded to multiple brush fires in our area this morning. In Durham, they worked to put out a fire near North Alston Avenue. In Harnett County, there was one on Oak Ridge River Road. The statewide burn ban is still in place, but today's humidity and rising wind gusts can heighten risks. Well, today, state lawmakers plan to vote on a deal that would fund Medicaid. They're agreeing on a $300 million plan that includes rules to reduce waste and prevent fraud. Medicaid is set to run out of funding soon because the state still doesn't have a budget. More news ahead on Fox 50.
No heavy coats needed this morning. Our high temperatures will climb into the 80s. I'll let you know if it will last into the weekend.
Money for Medicaid. State lawmakers will tackle funding for the program that provides health care for millions of North Carolinians. The plan they could vote on as soon as today.
Feeling the pressure, the high price of diesel fuel due to the war in Iran is putting a squeeze on local businesses. How the costs could be passed down to you. Yeah, a lot of people are feeling that pinch.
Yes.
So we'll get to all that and more. We're so glad you're with us. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Laura Levine. If you're just waking up with us, noticing the milder temperatures, well, we actually have meteorologist Elizabeth Gartner out on the WRAL weather patio to talk about the warm temps today, Elizabeth.
Yep, it's so warm that I have my jacket on. It's cool out here in the shade, I'll tell you what. But temperatures are in the mid-50s right now and continuing to climb, and it looks beautiful. Take a look at the gardens behind me. The azaleas are mostly past their peak, but some of them are still blooming, and there's always something in the gardens that's beautiful to see all summer long. 57 is our current temperature. Our wind is southwest at 15, and that southwesterly wind will help keep pushing that warmth into our area, so you're going to notice a big jump in our high temperature this afternoon. Right now, we're in the mid to upper 50s, 57 in Durham, 54 in Clinton and in South Hill, and temperatures in some places are about 10 to 12 degrees warmer than this time yesterday, so that's a pretty big jump. Temperatures this afternoon at lunchtime 78, so it'll be nice to spend your lunch hour outside, and then we climb into the mid 80s, and temperatures keep climbing through the weekend. I'll take a look at when we could hit nearly 90 coming up, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, we're staying on top of that heavy congestion that we see on that southern loop of the Beltline that we see usually this time of the morning, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. You can see folks are exiting right now, but these are the westbound lanes coming toward us. So right now you're looking at an 11-minute delay. Oh, look at that. It's getting better. Jump down to 7 minutes. So really nothing that's going to make you late for the most part, but just give yourself some extra time this morning if that southern loop is part of your morning commute. We're also picking up some heavy congestion on that northern loop of the Beltline as we look live at I-40 near New Bern Avenue. You can see the bumper traffic. So let's widen out that view of that loop and show you what we're talking about. The bulk of the congestion is really between the I-40, I-440, 87 interchange to Capitol Boulevard. Then it's really, relatively speaking, clear sailing all the way over to Wade Avenue. You're looking at a 9-minute delay. I know some of you use I-540 as an alternate east-west route. Right now, you're looking at a 12-minute delay for those of you using I-540. You got some slowdowns between Capitol Boulevard, Falls Avenue, and Creedmoor Road. Once you get past Creedmoor Road, it's clear sailing all the way to I-40. You're getting ready to head into the Cartoonist in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Fire crews in Durham responded to a brush fire this morning. It happened near North Alston Avenue. The WRAL breaking news tracker was there at around 3:30 as firefighters were getting it under control. Then firefighters in Harnett County here also worked to put out a brush fire. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker on Oak Ridge River Road near Fuquay Arena. Authorities in Harnett County say the fire started just before 1 a.m. There is a statewide burn ban until further notice, but today's weather is even more conducive for brush fires. That's because of dropping humidity and increasing wind gusts.
I want to give you a live look now at the state legislative building in downtown Raleigh. Today, state lawmakers are expected to tackle funding for Medicaid, which millions of North Carolinians rely on for health care. Let's bring in WRAL's Ali Kadlabar. She's live outside that legislative building. And Ali, lawmakers could vote on the Medicaid deal today.
Yeah, this is a $300 million deal, Ken, and this comes as Medicaid is on the verge of losing all of its funding. Now, lawmakers are set and expected to approve the plan today. They've also added rules to cut down on waste and prevent fraud. The push to approve Medicaid funding is related to the state not having a budget. Medicaid would run out of money within the next few weeks if a deal is not met. WRAL spoke with House Speaker Destin Hall. He says it's crucial that they address Medicaid funding quickly.
At the end of the day, if it continues on, the debates about all these other issues we're talking about are not going to matter because Medicaid's going to swamp it all out.
Now, as for the budget, legislative leaders tell us that discussions are ongoing, but they are optimistic. That Medicaid funding vote is today on the calendar. WRAL will be following this. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Well, Wake County school leaders are also facing some difficult choices. The district superintendent proposing another $10.5 million in cuts for the next school year. That's on top of the more than $5 million in cuts he proposed last month. Dozens of teachers protested yesterday, saying they want the district to ask Wake County for more money to avoid the cuts. The school board has until May 15th to pass a budget. District leaders say they want to see the state do more to help step up and fill the funding gap.
Breaking news within the last 90 minutes, Iran's foreign minister spokesperson has acknowledged the ceasefire extension made by the U.S. President Donald Trump made the announcement about the ceasefire extension yesterday on social media, but said the military blockade of Iranian ports will remain in place. The ceasefire would have expired tonight. The president said the ceasefire will remain in effect until Iranian leaders can come up with a unified proposal. He also made another post just before midnight saying Iran is collapsing financially and that it wants the Strait of Hormuz opened immediately.
Hey, Laura, while we're talking about the Strait of Hormuz, I thought what would be kind of interesting in terms of perspective is to show you what the strait looks like in terms of the vessels that are crossing it. There's a company that's based in London called Kepler, and this is their X account, and it says that this is a snapshot of around, this is accurate of about maybe 5 o'clock this morning, but it shows you where these different vessels are going, and it says the vessel crossings were between the 20th and the 21st, but again, the snapshot is as accurate as 5 a.m. according to them, and they're saying that this is showing different things that are being commodity-wise that are being transported here, liquids, dry bulk, that sort of thing. And I'm just showing you that perspective to get you an idea of just how busy things are going. But if the strait will stay open, that's what people want to know, especially given the fact that we have seen the situations involving those 3 ships.
All right, Chris, the cost of this war showing up at the pump, according to AAA, the national average right now above $4 a gallon. Looking at prices locally, though, in Raleigh, you're paying $3.77. Nash County has the lowest average in our area, $3.62. Warren County's average is the highest at $3.96. And, of course, if you want to find the best prices on gas near you, just check out the WRAL fuel tracker. Go to WRAL.com and search fuel. Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll hear how higher gas prices could be affecting what you get for your mom on Mother's Day in just over a couple of weeks.
Meanwhile, diesel prices, Ken, have surged since the start of the war. The increased fuel costs are disrupting businesses, including one that's getting busier this time of year. WRAL's Kirsten Clark is live in Raleigh for us this morning, and we know, Kirsten, that these HVAC companies are...
Yes, Laura, we've been here at the intersection of Gorman and Hillsborough Streets all morning long to give you a closer look at the price of diesel. Here at this BP, it's going for $5.79 a gallon. And as you mentioned, HVACs, many of us have already cranked up the air conditioner to deal with how hot it's been. And HVAC service companies, they depend on diesel for their trucks. So let's take a wider look at the price of diesel. According to AAA, the current state average is $5.59 a gallon. That's compared to $3.45 a year ago this time. Here in Raleigh, the average is $5.66. Now that cost is down 2 cents from yesterday, but still more than $2 higher than the average this time last year. The director of HVAC operations at Swift Brothers tells us they have hundreds of trucks to fill up, and they didn't budget for such a steep spike.
Typically, we depending on the vehicle, I mean, we could fill up for around $90 or so. Now it's $150 plus every time, and usually these trucks are having to be filled up sometimes once a day, depending on how much driving they're having to do.
Yeah, Stanley says Swift Brothers has already seen a high volume of calls, and they're only expecting that to increase as we head into the summer. He says the company is absorbing the cost right now, but if the price of diesel continues to get higher, of course, that cost will have to be put onto customers. Live in Raleigh, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Durham Mayor Leah Williams is promising not to give up when it comes to the efforts to curb gun violence. That was one of many topics the mayor talked about in his 2026 State of the City address last night. Mayor Williams highlighted progress across Durham, but also discussed the challenges the city faces. We spoke with a young girl who tells us she witnessed a drive-by shooting just weeks ago in her neighborhood. She says no child should grow up in fear. We asked Mayor Williams what he says to young people living with such fear.
No one in the city deserves to live in the fear and harm and in the disruption that they're living in, not only in Cornwallis, but in any of our concentrated areas that are experiencing this unusual high crime.
Mayor Williams says there's a plan in place to combat violence in the city, but many are watching to see if that plan creates real change. You can find the mayor's full speech on our website, WRAL.com.
Raleigh's police chief offers and assures the city is safe despite a recent string of high-profile violent crimes. Chief Rico Boyce held a news conference yesterday. His message comes after a stretch of violent crime in recent weeks, including 2 shootings at Triangle Town Center. Boyce said it's a string of events that aren't reflective of the overall crime picture in Raleigh.
And what my partners are doing here today and every day is we're making sure that we give every case the attention that it deserves from our public safety partners, as well as that we can quickly hold those offenders accountable.
So in the 5 days since the most recent Triangle Town Center shooting, no charges have been filed. A boy says someone will be charged very soon.
Durham Animal Services looking for two dogs that killed a small dog at an apartment complex. The attack was caught on video. Now, we won't show you it because it's too graphic, but this happened Monday at the Lovett Square Apartments. These two bigger dogs, they appear to be pit bulls, came up behind a woman with her small dog. The smaller dog was taken and dragged away by the big dogs. He died before police arrived. We reached out to the property management company to ask how they plan to respond. As of this morning, we have yet to get a response.
Your time now, 8:41. Ducking for cover. New video of a piece of metal crashing into a car windshield. How the driver says she reacted, and a look at the damage left behind.
And our teacher of the week is all about teaching her students about the joy of reading. We're at East Garner Middle School to visit with this very deserving teacher.
And it's a little chilly right here on the patio right now, but look at all that sunshine. We'll start to warm up because our winds have shifted to southwesterly. I'll show you when highs will climb into the 80s coming up. It is 8:45 and feeling comfortably cool on the patio this morning. I'm pretty happy to have my jacket on, but boy, later this afternoon, it's going to feel really nice. Don't forget, the gardens are open all the time during daylight hours, and there's always something blooming. There's still a few azaleas blooming, and then, we get into hydrangea season. There are a bunch of those. Always something pretty back here to see. Our temperatures are climbing into the mid to upper 50s now, 54 in Fayetteville, 54 Roanoke Rapids, and in Rocky Mount. At lunchtime, we'll climb to 78 degrees. It's Earth Day today, and it should be a really pretty day to spend a little time outside. Our highs this afternoon climb into the mid 80s, and we keep on climbing into the weekend. Also, looking at a chance for rain, and we'll go over when that could happen coming up.
All right, it's been happening now in the WRAL traffic center. We got a trouble spot there in southern Wake County, the Garner area on Fayetteville Road, 401, if you will. It's around 1010 Road. You can see part of that road is shut down. There's some type of diesel spill in that particular area. And right now, if you have to navigate Fayetteville Road, you might want to take Lake Wheeler Road or even Old Stage Road as alternate routes. I'll keep an eye on that and let you know what's going on. We're also getting reports of a crash involving a Raleigh transit bus somewhere around I-440 and Capitol Boulevard, Brentwood Road. If we get eyes on that, I'll let you know if that's going to affect your morning commute.
Ken, thank you. Scammers will use anything to gain your trust, and that includes claiming your loved one is locked up and they can help. 5 on your side's Alex Littlehell sat down with state leaders about a scheme that isn't going away.
It's no PR pitch. It is a fact. People are being scammed. They're losing money.
WRAL sat down with North Carolina's Commissioner of Insurance, Mike Causey, over an issue his department raised last year, but he says is still hurting North Carolinians.
They are very convincing. They tug at your heartstrings and very believable.
Scammers calling the families of people behind bars, pretending to be either a sheriff's deputy or a bail bondsman, except they're not. They're really someone who gained your personal information, perhaps someone from inside the jail itself, getting you to route them money to help in your loved one's case. Tonight, Commissioner Causey shares with WRAL how many investigations are underway across the state. Alex Littlehale's 5 on your side.
Local vendors are getting new guidance from Painted Tree as the company moves closer to bankruptcy. The national retailer offers brick and mortar space for vendors and closed all of its stores last week. WRAL obtained a letter sent to affected small business owners outlining how to recover losses and what happens next. Well, first, vendors have until the end of the week to pick up their items. Next, once a bankruptcy is filed, vendors should file a proof of claim in court. The form gives the vendor the opportunity to show how much they believe they're owed and provide proof. Now, without it, they likely won't get paid at all. And even if they do everything right, they may not get much back.
I mean, it's going to depend on what are the assets of the company, what liens may be on those assets, meaning is there anyone who loaned money to the debtor and took a lien on that asset that would jump ahead of any unsecured claims in the case.
Well, the company already made it clear it won't be handling disputes or helping vendors recover money. Everything now shifts to the bankruptcy court.
New video this morning shows the moment a piece of equipment from a flatbed smashed into a woman's windshield. Take a look at this. The driver said she was driving on Interstate 64 in Norfolk, Virginia on Monday. You can see the metal object appear below the car in front of her, then crashed into a windshield. She says she closed her eyes and prayed because she didn't know where it was going to hit. The object thankfully hit the passenger side and not hers. She says that she's okay, but still a little shaken up.
Oh, my goodness. Well, our Teacher of the Week is known for going above and beyond her classroom duties at East Garner Middle School. You're about to meet an educator who started out in the healthcare field before eventually getting the call and answering the call to the classroom.
Anybody want to talk about number one?
Kayla Melvin has a heart for helping people.
Both of y'all are correct.
She is also a constant cheerleader for her students.
They come to me all the time, Miss Melvin, I made 100, and I try to make it extra special for them. Oh my, I high five them. I'm always trying to check to see how their grades are looking. Are they communicating with their teachers? Holding them accountable. Thank you, that's correct.
Melvin is a reading teacher at Garner Magnet Middle School. She says caring and nurturing her students come naturally after previously spending more than a decade in the healthcare field.
I love just caring for people. I love being able to be one-on-one with them, making relationships, getting to know people. So and I love kids. My house is where all the kids come.
Miss Melvin's classroom is also a haven for students where they can count on support, encouragement, and a safe place to learn.
Just being able to, be in these kids' life, just making an impact. That's my thing, that long-lasting impact for me.
Miss Melvin, you are WRAL's Teacher of the Week. Give her a big round of applause. Congratulations.
Love it.
I love it so much. If you'd like to nominate a teacher, go to WRAL.com and enter Teacher of the Week in the search box.
All right, let's get a check on the temperature outdoors. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner showing the WRAL azalea gardens a little love here on this Earth Day. Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out here right now, but still a little on the cool side. Our temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s right now, but so pretty, so nice to be out here in the gardens. It's also a little breezy. Our wind coming out of the southwest at 15 miles per hour, and you can see the trees back there moving around just a little bit, keeping our temperatures on the cool side. Again, temperatures across our area are mostly in the mid to upper 50s. Those temperatures will keep climbing as we get through the day. Our afternoon high likely to be right up around 83, 84 degrees, and we'll hit 78 right there at lunchtime. Our winds are coming out of the south, and that's what's creating the big difference. Yesterday, our temperatures, we're still on the cool side. We hit 70, but we're talking about being 15 degrees warmer this afternoon because our wind shifted last night, and you can see the yellow shaded colors there in the arrows. That's the warm air moving in. It's likely to be a bit breezy through the afternoon, anywhere from gusting 20 to 25. And of course, that also brings us high fire danger. It brings the warmth in, but it's dry too. So we continue the burn ban across the state until further notice. And further notice is probably not going to end this weekend or anytime soon. Current temperature 59 in Durham, 54 in Apex, 58 in Garner, and 56 in Clayton right now. And temperatures anywhere from 5 to almost 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. We'll hit the mid 80s for highs this afternoon, and we won't look back. Temperatures will just keep on climbing. 74 is our normal high for today, which would feel great, but it is going to get hot approaching the weekend. 89 on Friday, and the humidity will creep up a little bit too. We've had a few heat waves with temperatures near 90, and the humidity's been nice and low. That's starting to change. Once we get into the summer, it's high humidity and high temperatures, all the time. Our next weather maker, a couple of them, just a weak front drops in on us, mainly up near the Virginia line. We can see a quick shower, and then the next one is back to the west, and it arrives over the weekend. Just a 20% chance this evening, and then Saturday night into at least the first half of the day Sunday, we'll have our next best chance for rain. Come and race for the cure is Saturday. Should be dry during the day on Saturday, and race time temperature 65 should feel good. Behind Saturday's front, we'll see cool temperatures returning with highs in the 70s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Ken?
All right, before we go to break, here's another look at the winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic with Ken up next.